Have you ever had the feeling that a man was truly interested in you, maybe even infatuated with you, but never actually said a word? Don't be too quick to dismiss it as your imagination. In reality, men often aren't as direct in expressing emotions as women. However, according to psychological studies, they tend to show affection through small, even unconscious actions. If you're observant enough, you'll notice many subtle signs you may have overlooked before. In today's video, we will explore 10 silent psychological signs men often display when genuinely attracted to someone. Some of these signs are fairly easy to spot, while others are so subtle, you'll be surprised you never noticed them. Especially sign number 10. Very few women know it, but once you recognize it, you'll start seeing it everywhere. In brief conversations, in passing glances through a crowd. Before we dive in, if you enjoy content related to psychology, relationships, and understanding human behavior, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss out on upcoming videos. You are the motivation behind why I continue sharing this valuable knowledge. Let's begin with one of the strongest subconscious signals: mirroring. When a man frequently mimics your actions, gestures, or speech patterns. For example, when you tilt your head and he does the same, or when you cross your arms and naturally follow suit. It's not just a coincidence. This is a common psychological response when someone feels connected or attracted to another person. It indicates that you're not just on his mind. You're influencing his behavior in ways even he might not realize. 1. Humor and inside jokes. Just between the two of you. One of the clearest signs that a guy is truly into you is when he often teases you playfully and affectionately. This isn't the kind of critical or sarcastic teasing, but lighthearted jokes that make both of you laugh. For example, he might poke fun at the way you always order your coffee in a very specific way, like less ice, no sugar, but with a slice of lemon. Or gently tease you about how you pronounce a certain word, or pick up on a cute little habit you have that no one else seems to notice. Behind those jokes lies a deeper psychological strategy. Teasing is a way of capturing attention, building rapport, and, most importantly, creating a unique connection between two people. It's also his way of testing the waters, to see if you feel comfortable around him, if you'll play along and tease him back, or if you'll blush and smile, something many guys find incredibly endearing. When the two of you start to share little stories or inside jokes that only the two of you understand, it's more than just a sign of closeness. It's a clear indication that you're becoming someone special in his private world. These personal codes, or shared moments, usually only develop when someone genuinely wants to bond with you on a deeper level. 2. He always finds a reason to talk to you. Another sign that a guy is genuinely interested in you is when he constantly finds excuses to start a conversation, even when the reason seems trivial. Maybe he sends you a random meme in the middle of the afternoon, asks your opinion on a movie he knows you watched ages ago, or brings up a small detail from a conversation you've already forgotten. These seemingly casual actions carry more meaning than you might think. In psychology, talking to someone you're attracted to triggers the release of dopamine in the brain, a hormone associated with joy, excitement, and happiness. For him, every time you reply to a message or respond with a cute expression, it can instantly lift his mood. Interestingly, he doesn't need a major reason to reach out. Even something as simple as "it's cold today" can become an excuse to message you. This shows that you've become a constant presence in his thoughts, and whenever there's even a brief chance to connect, he'll take it without hesitation. 3. Triggering the protective instinct. A very distinct sign that a man truly cares about you is when his protective instinct is naturally activated. Have you ever noticed that when you're walking together, he subtly positions himself on the outer side, between you and the busy traffic? Or, when navigating through a crowd, he gently places his hand on your back to guide you and make you feel safe. These actions aren't random. They're unconscious responses rooted in the desire to protect someone he genuinely cares about. This protective nature also becomes evident in how he responds to your emotions. When you're feeling down, someone upsets you, or you're having a rough day, he just can't sit idly by. Whether it's through listening, comforting you, or even showing frustration on your behalf, he's revealing that your feelings matter deeply to him. This isn't about thinking you're weak or need saving. It's about an emotional connection and an instinctive urge to care for and protect you. According to psychologists, the protective instinct is a common reaction in men when they feel emotionally attached to someone. It doesn't need grand gestures or spoken words, just a bit of awareness on your part. Once you notice it, you'll realize that every small action is his quiet way of saying, "I care about you." 4. He remembers the little things. One of the most subtle, yet powerful signs that a man has special feelings for you is how he remembers the little details, things others would easily forget. Without needing to be reminded, he recalls that you like your black coffee with no sugar and always drink it in the morning before eating anything. Or he remembers you once briefly mentioned a childhood cat named Miso, and the next time you meet, he asks, "How's Miso doing?" leaving you genuinely surprised. That's not a coincidence. It's a clear sign of genuine care. When a man is truly drawn to someone, his brain naturally stores information about them as a subconscious way of keeping them close. Whether it's the childhood movie you used to watch repeatedly, a dish you dislike because it's tied to a painful memory, or a song you often hum, each becomes a piece of the puzzle he's quietly building about you. Unlike polite or obligatory memory, this kind of remembering doesn't require effort. It happens instinctively, because to him, you're not just anyone. You hold emotional value. And through his quiet attention to the smallest things, he's sending a heartfelt message. "I truly care about you, more than you may ever realize." 5. His pupils dilate when he looks at you. One of the most secret, yet incredibly reliable signs of deep attraction is pupil dilation, a physiological response that no one can fake or consciously control. You may have heard the saying, "The eyes are the windows to the soul," but few people realize that the eyes are also a mirror, reflecting the heart's truest emotions. When a man looks at someone genuinely captivated, his body releases dopamine, a neurotransmitter linked to pleasure, excitement, and love. One of the natural responses to this surge is that his pupils automatically dilate. What makes this so special is that it happens unconsciously. He can't force it, nor can he pretend. So if you're wondering whether a guy's feelings for you are real, try observing his eyes during private, quiet moments, especially in soft lighting, like sitting together in a cozy cafe or chatting in a dimly lit room. If you notice that his pupils widen when he looks at you, even when nothing is surprising or frightening, then congratulations. His body has just accidentally revealed that you're the emotional center of his world. It's a silent, yet powerful sign that his feelings go beyond surface-level attraction, reaching into the deepest layers of emotion and biological response. 6. Silent jealousy. One of the more discreet yet telling ways to recognize that a man has special feelings for you is through what could be called the silent jealousy test, something he might not even realize he's doing. Even if he doesn't say it outright, the moment you casually mention another man, whether it's a coworker, an old friend, or even just the friendly barista at your favorite cafe, you'll likely notice a small but distinct shift in his demeanor. His voice might suddenly drop a tone. His eyes may become more focused, or he might interrupt with what seems like an innocent question. Who is he? Or, are you close to him? This isn't idle curiosity. It's a quiet flare of emotion. Sometimes, he might even bring up another woman, perhaps a female coworker or an old classmate, not to brag or make conversation, but to subtly test your reaction. Do you seem interested? Do you get a little jealous? According to psychologists, when it's healthy, a bit of jealousy is a natural sign that someone's feelings have crossed into deeper emotional territory. It doesn't come from control or insecurity, but from a genuine desire to matter to the person they care about. So, if you notice him becoming slightly sensitive whenever you mention another man, or if he creates situations to see how you'll respond, it's very likely that he's feeling more for you than you realized. These are the quiet yet truthful signs. Love confessions made without a single word. 7. He frequently says your name. A subtle yet meaningful sign that a man is genuinely interested in you is how often he says your name during conversations. It may sound simple, but repeating someone's name carries powerful psychological weight. When you hear your own name spoken, gently, warmly, it immediately makes you feel seen, acknowledged, and more significant in the interaction. A man who truly likes you won't just greet you with phrases like, "Hey," or "How have you been?" Instead, he'll personalize his words. "Hey, Lynn," or "How was your day, Lynn?" Though it's just a name, it builds a sense of intimacy and emotional connection when it's mentioned naturally and consistently. In psychology, this is a known technique for creating closeness and making someone feel special. And when a man does this with you, it's rarely accidental. You can even try a little experiment to test this. The next time you speak with him, say his name in a casual sentence, like, "What do you think, Nam?" or "Thanks, Nam." If his eyes light up, if he smiles naturally, or if he starts saying your name more often in return, congratulations, you've touched a part of his emotions he may have been trying to keep hidden. A name isn't just a word, it's a bridge between presence and emotion. And when a man uses your name deliberately and often, it's a sign that you're not just on his mind, you're holding a special place in his heart. 8. He always leans toward you. One of the unspoken secrets to know whether a man is truly attracted to you lies in body language, specifically the lean-in effect. No need for fancy words. Simply observing how he uses his body when talking to you can reveal what's going on in his heart. When a man is interested and drawn to someone, his body will naturally lean toward that person, as an unconscious attempt to close the distance and create a sense of intimacy and connection. You might notice that he doesn't just tilt his head or bend slightly forward, but his whole posture, his torso, his feet, even his shoulders, tends to turn fully towards you, as if you've become the center of the space he's in. This phenomenon is rooted in the brain's instincts. We tend to physically orient ourselves toward the things or people we like or feel safe with, just like a flower naturally leans toward the sunlight. It's a sign of full attention, not just with his ears, eyes, heart, and body. Want to test this? It's easy. The next time you talk to him, try leaning back just a little, creating some space. If, within seconds, he instinctively leans in toward you again, shortening the distance naturally, you don't need further proof. You've claimed a special place in his thoughts and emotions. That's not a habit. It's the instinct of genuine attraction. 9. The accidental touches. One of the most telling nonverbal signs that a man is attracted to you is through those accidental touches, seemingly casual, but often very intentional. Have you ever noticed his hand lightly brushing yours when you laugh together? Or when passing through a narrow doorway, he gently places his hand on your back to guide you. These small gestures aren't just polite. They're his subtle way of building a deeper, more personal connection with you. In psychology, this is known as incidental touch, light, spontaneous physical contact that doesn't feel invasive, but carries emotional weight. When a man has feelings for you, he'll naturally look for moments to create this kind of closeness. A soft touch on your arm while telling a funny story, a playful nudge during a shared joke, or standing just a little closer than necessary in a crowded space. Why are these gentle touches so meaningful? Because they trigger the release of oxytocin, often called the bonding hormone. Oxytocin creates a sense of warmth, safety, and emotional trust between two people. And if you notice that he only displays these gestures with you while keeping a clear distance from others, it's an unmistakable sign. You hold a special place in his heart. Physical contact, even when brief and light, can be one of the most subtle and powerful expressions of affection. So if you feel this kind of gentle energy from him, trust that it's not just an accidental touch. It's a clear signal from a heart quietly leaning toward yours. 10. Mirroring, the invisible connection. One of the most subtle, yet powerful signs of attraction between two people is the phenomenon of unconscious mirroring. Have you ever noticed that a certain guy seems to reflect your actions without realizing it? For instance, when you pick up your glass for a sip, he does the same right after. You cross your arms, and he shifts into the same posture a few seconds later. Or, more intriguingly, he starts using specific phrases you often say, as if your way of speaking has become a familiar part of his own. This is no coincidence. In psychology, mirroring is an unconscious response that indicates deep emotional resonance. When someone feels strongly drawn to you, their brain instinctively synchronizes with your movements and behavior to foster closeness and build a sense of emotional alignment. That's why close friends, longtime companions, and couples in love often seem to act like they laugh in unison, tilt their heads the same way, or even voice similar thoughts simultaneously. This phenomenon also creates a deeply positive psychological effect. It builds trust, strengthens emotional bonds, and makes two people feel on the same wavelength, without a single word. And if you notice that he only mirrors you, but doesn't do the same with others, that's a very clear sign that you hold a special place in his heart. Want to test this playfully? Try changing your sitting posture, tucking your hair behind your ear, or leaning slightly to one side during a conversation. If, within a few seconds, he unconsciously does the same, then there's no doubt about it. His heart is quietly syncing with yours. Mirroring isn't just body language. It's an emotional duet that only those truly drawn to each other can perform together. So, we've just explored 10 subtle psychological signs that men often unconsciously display when they're genuinely attracted to someone. Have you ever experienced any of these? Were there any behaviors that surprised you, now that you finally understand their true meaning? Attraction doesn't always come wrapped in sweet words or grand declarations. Genuine feelings often reveal themselves through the smallest actions: a lingering gaze, a casual touch, or how he always finds reasons to be near and talk to you. If a man frequently says your name, mirrors your gestures, or even reacts subtly when you mention another guy, then it's very likely that you're constantly on his mind. If you're curious to learn more about the subtle ways men test the waters to see if you care about them, don't hesitate to leave a comment below. I'd love to keep diving deeper with you into the fascinating world of emotional psychology, the things we often overlook, even in ourselves. And as always, if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you won't miss out on more surprising and insightful psychological breakdowns coming your way. Thank you so much for being here and listening. See you in the next video with even more exciting discoveries to share.